Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. So today I have a project share for you all. I have been trying to work on a few projects using my Spellbinders kits that I recently hauled. So using the Make Stay Wild kit. It's the Stay Wild kit. I decided to make a somewhat masculine version of the milk carton, the mini milk carton and a carrier. I thought about giving something like this to my husband, filling each one with something, but after I decorated it, I'm like, it has more of a feminine, somewhat feminine vibe. I don't know. I feel like he doesn't mind like the flowers and stuff. So especially if it ends up being like decor he sets around. It still has some masculine feel to it, but it can go either way. So here's what I made. I made the six mini milk cartons and the carrier, and I decorated each one. So the paper for the most part is this Stay Wild, these patterns, but not necessarily this paper pad. And what I mean by that is I ordered a past kit that was similar to this, the May 2019 kit, and it included 8.5 by 11 pages, which were cardstock, and these pages are more so like copy paper. So the paper used for this is a little bit thicker, not too much, but and it was 8.5 by 11 sheets that I used here. So I made six milk cartons, and I didn't close them because they don't have anything in them. I didn't add pins or anything. So here's the first carton, and it's just the green. So each of the old card kits that you can order for like a reduced price from maybe 2018, 2017, they include 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper that are both printed and plain. So this green cardstock is one of those, and it's just a plain piece of cardstock. And I added some flowers here, and it has some of the Hobby Lobby leaf trim behind it and just a gem here. And these flowers, some I got off AliExpress and others I picked up in LA. So that's the first one. This next one includes ephemera from the die cuts that go with the card kit. I got a pack in my card kit as well as ordered an extra. And this shape of die cuts, it includes two pieces of each design. So I just add some layering here. There's a suitcase, a ticket that says Admit 1, an adventure, and it says number 1. This next one is some like beige polka dot foiled cardstock, and it has some more of that ephemera. And I don't know if you can see this, but it's a beehive, so it says Hive, so lucky to have you. And then I have this leaf ephemera. The next one is some hello paper, and this is brown in case it's not showing up like it should, so it says hello in black and brown. And I added more ephemera, another flower, and a piece of that ribbon, and just a gem. This next one is this like gradient piece of cardstock, and more of the ephemera and some gems. And then this last one is some stripe paper, and I just added the big die cut here that says the things that make me different are the things that make me. Okay, so those are the milk cartons. And here is the carrier. The front of the carrier has more of the die cuts and flowers. And I used black cardstock, which was also included in one of the kits. I kind of like, for all the kits that I bought, I put all of the 8.5 by 11s together that kind of coordinated. And so that's why everything goes together so well. And then for this part, as well as this, I used some of the 6x6 pages and cut them down and matted them. So here is the carrier again. And here are the milk cartons. So there we go. So I did want to give you all a tutorial on how to make the mini milk cartons as well as the carrier. So let me grab my supplies for that. Okay, so first of all, you're going to need 6 sheets of paper cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and these will be your milk cartons. Okay, so we'll start there. So again, 6 sheets for 6 milk cartons. Okay, so now we're going to score our 5 by 5 by 8.5 cardstock. So on the 8.5 side, you are going to score at 2, 4, 6, and 8. Then you are going to flip it. Okay, so now on the 5.5 side, you are going to score at 1.5 and 3.5, and then you're gonna flip it. Flip it so the 1.5 and the 3.5 marks remain in place, but it's just the opposite side of the paper. And you are going to score at 5. Okay, so the reason you are going to score this at the 5-inch mark on the opposite side is so that when you close your milk carton, it comes together and it bends as it's supposed to, so it can bend either way instead of folding like the rest of the milk carton, if that makes sense. It also makes sure that your paper doesn't tear when you actually fold it back, so you don't have you know, where sometimes if you score and you fold, you'll see like the white underneath, the white core of the paper underneath, because of how you've scored your paper. So scoring on the opposite side just prevents that from happening. Okay, so now we have our paper scored, and hopefully you can see all the score marks. You're going to take your scissors and you are going to cut this bottom off. So you cut the bottom rectangle, and then on each of the fold lines for the bottom rectangles, you just cut up to the score line. Don't cut over the score line, just cut up to the score line, and there you go. But basically you're just going to fold it up, fold all of the lines, make sure you fold in the right direction. So the top, make sure you fold that in, and all the other fold lines you fold out. So you fold that out, that out, that out. Okay. So then you just add adhesive here. Okay, so now for gluing, you're going to add some adhesive here. I don't have my tape, so I'm just going to have to use my silicone glue. So I just add adhesive on this edge, as well as I do the front of the first 3 flaps, and I'll do this last flap last. So I just add, I close it, pop it up, and then fold the flaps on each other. This is definitely better with tape. So hopefully you got that. It's better with tape, but when the silicone glue dries, it makes the paper thicker. So again, here are my 3 flaps, 1, 2, 3. And I always go back and add just a little extra glue to the last flap that's going to cover and make sure it stays down all the way. And with this design, the bottom doesn't go all the way to this edge, and I mean, I don't mind that because the carton sits in the carrier, so no one's going to really see it. So then you just pinch inward and then reinforce the fold at the top, and there is your milk carton. There's your mini milk carton, and it's this part is like a 2 by 2, but it's actually 4 in height. So there you go, there is the milk carton portion. Okay, so now for the holder. For your holder, you're gonna need a 9 1/4 page by 6 1/4. And then you're also going to need an 11 by 6 piece of paper. So this part is actually the base. So you will take this and you will score at 1 1/2 on all sides. So 1 1/2, flip it, 1 1/2. Okay, so then just make sure you get those edges creased nicely. And then just to help with placing the middle piece, I go in after I've scored 1 1/2 and creased everything nicely, so I can definitely see my creases. I go in at 3 5/8. Underneath the top crease line, you're going to just score. You don't want it to go above those crease lines you've already made. Place. So I just score there, and this marks the center of my box, the base. So when I add, let's see. So I've marked the center of my base, so when I add this part, I know where to center it, so it's right in the middle, and my cartons won't have any issue going inside. So I score at 3 5/8. Alright, so don't fold or anything. Don't make this more pronounced than it already is. So now I just cut the I cut one side of the squares that were made in the corners. And fold them in. So in the event that when you do this, your paper kind of sticks up like this or something, mine, it goes perfectly, but if it does, just cut this at an angle. Just cut the flap at an angle and it should be fine. So then I'm going to glue my corners down. And now you have your base for your carrier. Okay, so for the middle piece, you are going to score along the 11-inch side. So you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch, 5 1/2, and 10 1/4. So then you just fold it on the 5.5 line, and these end pieces you fold inward towards the center. And this makes your center part of your carrier. So you would just glue this piece together and then center it on that score line that you have, and that would be your carrier. You can add pattern paper to decorate the carrier. So I think these measure, this would be 4.5 by 5 3/4, this piece. And the edges will be 1 1/4 by 6 and 1 1/4 by 4. But that is how you make your carrier. It's pretty simple. So there you go. So once you complete everything and decorate them, you should have something that looks like this. And I will say, for some people it may be easier to decorate first and then put your glue your cartons all together. I've also considered gluing the top and leaving the bottom parts open. But yeah, so there you go. This is what I made, and hopefully my quick little tutorial helps you make something like this. Alright, so thank you for watching and have a good day.